Kids asleep. Sharks awake. Trade daddies on the mic. Let's work. Let's work. Wrench your hand by daylight, grease on the sleeves. Nightfall, switch lanes, candles in degrees. Blue collar mornings, markets after dark. Teaching wealth in the shadows, lighting up the charts. From the shop to the screens, breaking cycles, no cap. Turn patience into profit, show the roadmap. Education first, yeah, the mission stay clean. Built on discipline, modern Canadian dream.
Daddy time, late night grind. Shots glow while the world unwinds. Trade daddies, yeah, we break it down. From higher highs to support and bounce.
OG in the game, seen bubbles and pain. Hands wrapped tight, both gloves and gains. From the ring to the feeds, pressure don't shake. Market swings heavy, steady moves get made. W3BC built, yeah, the vision clear. Teach and entertain, make the lesson hit here. Punchlines land like a clean left hook. Market speak when a trader looks. After bedtime, headphones on, screens glow bright. Risk defined, patient tested every night. No hype trades, only structure and plans. Read the flow, understand supply and demand. Not promises made, just skills passed down. So the next generation build solid ground. From dads to traders, lessons stay true. Knowledge is power, now pass it through.
Who runs the charge?
Trade daddy,
Who breaks it down?
trade daddy.
Risk, reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Who runs the charge?
Trade daddy,
Who breaks it down?
trade daddy.
Risk, reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Daddy time, late night grind. Real talk for the trading mind. Trade daddies after dark. Read the market, play it smart.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Trade Daddies. We back for episode 8, and today some interesting things have been happening in the world. In case you've been living under a rock, ceasefire announced, Bitcoin rallies, oil took a dump, and Strait of Hormuz is open. We don't know. Let's discuss.
Sorry, not sorry. What's going on, man? Brother, well, how are you doing? Welcome back, guys, to Trade Daddies. Means it's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. I was telling you what,
about the middle of the week,
dude. At the end of the song, like while I'm in here, like I am slapping the bass, like at the end of that jam,
slapping the bass,
slapping the bass. Hey,
yeah, I love it, man. My daughter actually, she loves she always sings this part in her head like kids asleep. She's like like so what's the word I'm looking for? Like appalled when she saw like kids asleep, but what about like this is daddy time? And she's like, but I want to know you're going to bed.
Yo, you saw my daughter just came going to bed now. It's 9 o'clock. So she just came into my office, gave me a hug right before we went live. So that's what it. Now it's time to talk about some trades, talk about the markets, see what's going on in the world, man. Because I'll tell you what, tomorrow could be an interesting day.
Yeah.
For oil, and I'll tell you what, I went long on Tesla a couple days ago, and like it was one of those things, like right as I went long, like typical market behavior where it took like a dump, and I was underwater for like, I don't know, 20% for like a day, and then it went up, and like yesterday, dude, like yesterday it was up so much. And then today, I have no clue what happened with Tesla, but holy Toledo, I'm like back underwater.
Oh my God. That's how it's so weird. You would think traditional markets would be like less volatile. Freaking Bitcoin's less volatile right now than Tesla.
I was talking to my mom on the way to the gym today. And I was talking about the Tesla thing, and I was just like, because I mean, I used to play the stock market a little while. Like I had like a brief and it was a lot of like penny stocks, right? Like we were trying to hit like some penny stocks on the come ups. It's like the meme coin casino, right? So I don't really have like a whole lot of exposure to, a lot of like the major TradFi stocks. And so like I'm looking at these charts. I'm like, what in the world is this, man? I thought like, like people were excited about 3% in the stock market, but this sucker has like swung 30% in 2 days. Like I thought like the stock market was chill. What's going on?
Wow, this is the crypto effect. See, it's going to be tokenized, and everyone's going to be trading it 24/7. It's going to trade just like your normal meme coin.
It's the degens. The degens are causing it.
Yeah, it's wild. Actually, I would love to trade some Tesla. Actually, it was in my trading group. Actually, some moves for Tesla to the upside. So, um,
So I'm long Tesla because I and it's funny like that we've talked about this before, like the confluence of like listening to other people and stuff. And I had looking at things, obviously with the war and energy and all that stuff's going, like it makes sense to like, get into an EV as far as like from a tech stock goes. And so I was looking at a lot of research. I've heard a lot of people say it's going to go up. And then, yeah, dude, I watched Sam and he was like that same kind of thing where he was talking about like, I saw a lot of good things. He's like, it's a great opportunity to go long on Tesla. And this was just a few days ago. And so, yeah, I took that long. Like, and I was like, that was my confluence. I was like, okay, someone else is saying there's some big things happening. And so I went long on it, but it has been a roller coaster, brother.
so even like EVs aside right now, so what's happened, at least lately for Tesla, is they stopped the production of the Model X and the Model S, and
The
they're
road-
using that space in the manufacturing to be able to build the Optimus robots. So humanoid robots, those are coming, and like Tesla's leading the way. And when you think about like all the robots that exist right now, they can't really do anything by themselves. Like you always have somebody controlling them. Even some of those good robots you've seen that like look like, oh, I can do the dishes for you, it's somebody with a VR headset that's controlling it. Like it's a controlled environment. Like it's not real. But with all the data that Elon Musk has with the Teslas, from being able to analyze the road, like they have that already. So putting that in the robots, I think they'll be the first robots that will be able to see and understand its environment
Mhm.
and be able to do things on their own. I think it'll be the first robots to do that, in my opinion.
How long do you think it'll take before we actually have like a robot in-house? Like
Oh,
everybody.
like it's the total norm. I think longer than people think. Probably somewhere in the mid 2030s. I think you'll see it in like warehouses and for business and stuff first, and then it like that'll be like the alpha beta phase, I guess you could say, and then it'll go into the homes.
You think like originally, like first off, like the first people, like it'll be like it wasn't one of those things. It's almost like a status symbol, right? Like, like you've got like the first 1,000 people will be able to like beta test it, and those will be like the influencers that show off. Like
You're getting that now, right? You see some of those Chinese robots. Did you see that one at the Futurist in Miami?
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's influencers that are doing that like at home, like doing stupid stunts where it's like trying to cook up with a pan and falling, and like they're just making content with it. But like it's you're already kind of seeing that, right? The rich influencers. But shout out to the chat. Carrie's here. Welcome, Carrie. What's going on, brother? Androids will destroy us. Probably, maybe. This is why Elon Musk is like, we got to get Neuralink. We got to be one with the machine, right? We got to be on an even level playing field here. Tesla self-drive. Luca, what's going on, brother? Tesla self-driving taxis coming soon. Dude, the self-driving, like I drive a Model 3, and the self-driving is honestly really, really good. It's really, really, really good. Even since I bought the car in 2024, it's gotten so much better over the time. Still not like it's not like how I would drive. I feel like the car is mind you, they changed it, but I feel it's a little bit passive. But you can put it in the different modes now. I'm trying to remember the name of it. They had a funny name. It's like just a crazy mode for like being an aggressive driver. So you can make it aggressive if you want to, but it's gotten really good. It's really neat. I like driving a car, so I like to actually like have my hands on the wheel and operate the vehicle. But for example, if I'm going down to the States, if I want to do another road trip to Florida or something like that, I'll probably get this self-driving for a month just to do those long hauls.
Just to be able to set it and forget it for a while.
Yeah, especially when you're just driving straight for like hours. You're on the highway. There's nothing really like that you gotta. What was that?
Does that have the sensor for to your eyes, or could you sit there and just be like reading a book or like
So for self-driving, you don't have to like have your hands on the steering wheel, but if you bring up your phone, the car will nag at you and be like, pay attention to the road because you're kind of supposed to pay attention. But you can relax. Your feet are not like on the gas pedal, or you can be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like you can fall asleep.
No.
I'm sure there's ways to fool it. Get those glasses where it looks like your eyes are open.
Dude, I want that's what I'm ready for, is like self-driving to the point where it's just like, all right, fam, get in the car. We're going up to Chicago, and we're all just get in the back seat, and it just drives overnight, and we're there.
Oh my God.
Like
Just
that'd
go
be great.
on Netflix and just like chill.
So we have a Kia Tie. I really want it pains me that they're going to stop production on the X, because that's the model that I want so
Same.
bad, because I love the back doors.
Me and you both, bro. I'm just like, I just want to say my car opens like this.
I just want like fake Lambo doors. But oh man, why did I do that? And ended up taking away my mental power there. So we got a Kia Telluride, right? And it has the adaptive cruise control on it. And so it's along the same lines. It won't change lanes, but as long as you're in the one lane, it will slow down to a complete stop and then restart. And you can do all that kind of stuff. But I've figured out, because it has sensors in the steering wheel, right? So like if you let go of the steering wheel after like 5 seconds, like it'll start bing, and then it would like deactivate the self-driving thing, like, and you've got to like take over, right? But found if you lower the steering wheel a little bit, and like I used to drive with like my legs a lot when I was younger.
Same.
So I'm comfortable with that. So you can just sit there and like hold. The sensor works, like your leg works as like the sensor trigger. So dude, I'll just sit there with my leg, and I can get some work done. I'm throwing a little Netflix up. I got the phone on the dashboard thing. Put a little Netflix up there.
There's a website where you can get like aftermarket like Tesla accessories, and for the they have these little weights that you can put on this Tesla steering wheel to make it to simulate that someone's hands are on it. So you can put on, because like the basic autopilot, if you don't have self-driving, it comes factory with basic autopilot, which is exactly the same thing. It'll stop, it won't change lanes for you, but it will keep the lane, and it'll keep pace with the other vehicle. And you can set it on like how far back you want to be, like spacing from the vehicle. But yeah, it's freaking great. I love it. Anytime I go on a long haul, like I go to Windsor quite often. When I go to Windsor, I just like throw that stuff on and I just chill. Like once in a while, you just got to shake the steering wheel just to like let them know that you're still there, because it'll warn you, like touch the steering wheel. So I just give it a little wiggle, and then that's it. Every like a minute or so. What's that drive to Windsor like again? Like a couple hours? For me, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours, maybe 4 hours when you're talking about a stop. And especially for me, I charge the Tesla once I get up there. So, but if you don't have to worry about charging, then yeah, about 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on the traffic.
Just making sure I got that mental load, because if y'all remember, in July we got the Futures Conference up in Toronto, and I'm just making sure, because if you don't know anything about Windsor style pizza, I feel bad for you if you don't know anything about Windsor style pizza. To be honest with you.
So speaking about pizza, so I went to a new place by my house. I've been told about it's one of the best places around. It's called Sad Boy Pizza, and dude, it's so good. And I was somebody that was in line in front of me was talking about if they do Windsor style, and he's like, you can't, because I didn't know this. There's a cheese that Windsor uses on their pizza, and you can only get it in Windsor. You can, they have like a lock on like that cheese, and he said yeah, we can't do Windsor style because they won't sell the cheese to anybody, and they won't ship it or anything like that. There's only one place in Toronto that does Windsor style pizza that has like a direct line to get that cheese from them. So maybe when we're down in Futures, we might have to go stop at that place. I think it's called Ambassador Pizza. Dave Portnoy went there. He did a little review of their pizza there.
Okay. You remember what they got?
He just a pepperoni and cheese. It's just you know how he does like the one bite reviews.
It was at a one bite challenge. Like did he?
Yeah. He went to that Toronto one. He should have gone to Windsor to do it, but he went to Toronto. But it's the only place in Toronto that does the Windsor style, because again, the lockdown on the cheese.
Very interesting. I got to
right.
Windsor style pizza cheese.
Yeah, I thought it was just the pepperoni, the way they do it, but no, it's the cheese. You can't get it anywhere else.
Let's see here. Windsor style pizza is a Canadian style pizza common in Windsor, characterized by its ingredients. It uses medium thick to thick cornmeal and flour based crust, high fat mozzarella cheese. That's what it is. It's high fat, because everywhere else you get is low fat skim mozzarella, right? For the most part, pizza cheese. So they use high fat mozz. That's why. Ooh, dude, I bet it's so good.
It's have you not had it yet? Because you came through Windsor last time, right?
Yeah, we definitely had a pizza in Windsor. I don't remember it.
Okay.
We definitely had pizza in.
Okay, I know a spot, so and I'll see if I can get in touch with the owner. Maybe we can do something with content over there.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great. Here we go. The mozzarella cheese uses high fat, like I was saying, and most pizzerias in Windsor source their cheese from the Windsor-based Galati Cheese Company. That's what it is, Galati cheese.
There you go. That's the one.
We'll get some Galati cheese.
So we'll have to go there and do a little pizza review and whatnot. But yeah, man. So what do you think of these markets today? Let's jump in the charts and see what the hell's going on, because it's been an interesting one.
Great idea. Yeah. Ooh, I like that little stinger right there, dude.
Right here,
A bumper or a stinger, one of the two, I think.
So I've been looking at this today, and I just noticed this just before the stream. Like, man, there's a gap here. So I put my stop loss, not my stop loss, my resistance lines here, because I initially thought today we were like short. Like I was short today. Like I'm like, especially like we pumped yesterday, like we got to be short, and then I freaking pumped up to 72 again today. So I was more like, okay, double top, right? So far I've been right, but we had some volatility, since then. When I see this here, we're usually going to come back at some point to retest some liquidity, whether it's here or here. I see this gap here, which kind of lines up with this liquidity here. So that kind of makes sense to me. And then I also pull, I don't know how much you use this, but I use this once in a while when I'm trying to find a dip. I pull the Fibonacci.
Okay.
So when I pull a fib, I know, again, I don't know, like I'm not a professional Fibonacci puller, but I know the 618, the golden pocket, and the 786 are really good levels for retracement. And if you're looking for a bounce. So the 618 lines up right in this liquidity between these two lines here, which is right around that gap. And the 786 is down here right around this liquidity right here. Right. So I had like my target as the 1 hour 200-day moving average. May not get there. And it may I'm pretty sure it might not. If we come to a 786 bounce and we're still bullish, like we still believe bullish, we got a ceasefire for 2 weeks, potentially. Things may be looking up at least for the short term.
Where do you have one of those? Where's that level at?
The 786. The 786 is sitting at 68.8.
Okay. All right. I got to adjust because I've got on VDEX, I've got a Bitcoin short in, and I had that actually going to like 68.5, thinking that we were, and that was for me, that was based on, and I would have to pull up the Bitcoin chart. I got oil up right now, but it was just based on, I think, the look and feel of the trends that we were in. And if we were to just basically head back to the bottom of the trend is where I was going to pick that up. Not a fib, it was a trend, but I like this because it's very close. I just said, well, maybe
VDEX will be a little bit different numbers than what's on like my Binance chart. So I'm just pulling it up on. So on VDEX, the 786 lines up with actually around 68, 780. So pretty close to where I had it. But yeah, it's that's where you look for your pullbacks, and it makes sense. Like we're gonna come back to that. Maybe it takes a couple of days, or maybe we just continue to go. Maybe this is just another flag. We're sticking around that smooth moving average. Mind you, it is curling, and the RSI is coming down, but the stochastic's pretty low here, so we could curl back up. But this doesn't have to be a full on dump. But even if we come back to here. So we go through the gap, we come back here, we get stopped off, we bounce off it, flip this as support, and then onto the upside. So if you're a bull, you're going to look for this to bounce off support. I don't see why we wouldn't come to at least this moving average at this point. Yeah. Because we're in no man's land. We're in the middle of the gap right now. So I don't.
At this point, would you still do you still think that we are in a bear market? We're still in a downtrend? Like this is just temporary relief? Like obviously we looked at some historical patterns, and if you look at like the monthly or the weekly, whatever it may be, you could see that we've had our dips and our consolidations, all that stuff. Would you still think that we are in that consolidation phase on our way back down, or you think that we might have seen a bottom and potentially we're reversing. I feel like a lot of the media that's coming out now and a lot of the news and headlines and stuff is like they're almost calling the bottom is in. Now, does that mean that they're really just getting people wrecked?
Well, I still think that we're in a downtrend overall, but some of my time frames are changing where I'm starting to entertain the idea that I know we could potentially, be gearing up for, maybe a rally and before we go down, because we still have a lot to go in this year. Like it's only April, right? It's like the beginning of April. So there's still a lot of 2026 to go. But so I'll show you my 3-day, which has like been my base case for the most part. So my 3-day still kind of looks like that bear flag.
Yep.
It hasn't really changed too much. The only thing I could say is this could be a double bottom. So let me just draw it real quick. So I'm gonna draw my bear flag here. So this is kind of what I've been looking at for a breakdown. And if you take the measured move of this breakdown, you're looking at we'll just bring it from here again, like around 50,000, 48,000, depending on where this breaks out to the downside if it was to break down. But this I'm starting to see here is a double bottom, like a W pattern. And if that's the case, then we're gonna probably come and revisit this liquidity there, and that's like in the 90s. Or we come up to the 200-day moving average at 91 and just get rejected and back down, right? That's very, very possible. But I'm not going to entertain this idea until we break this upper trend line.
Yep.
So we need to break once we close like a daily candle above like 75, 76, then I'm like, okay, this might be a real move. And so we got to get above that trend line because it could just be, another move to the top of the channel, back to the top. Like I said, we could bounce in this channel all the way up to like 80K and still break down.
Right.
And we've discussed this before on the channel too, right? So, but what there is look at this gap here, right? Like if we bring the liquidity in here, I'm going to bring more liquidity so we can see more lines here. Let it repopulate. It takes a second to populate. Yeah, there's a gap.
Yeah, right, dude, that's very, very doable to see that thing rip up to what, 95, 96? Is that what that is, 94?
Well, the gap's that's 84. So the gap stops at 84 here. Again, if we start getting, I feel like we start getting into the 80s, people are gonna be like, "We're back!" Like it's gonna bring that kind of talk back again. And
I love that. I love that, but I also have such PTSD that I don't believe it.
Same.
Like we could get to that level. Although, okay, so again, I feel the same way based on our consolidation and the upward movement of it, plus the zone that it's in. Like you could get damn near close to 75, 80,000 and still not break that structure before we take our next leg down. But then also, man, we could see that thing, like you said, this could be the double bottom, the W pattern that sends us into another stratosphere.
Absolutely. Let me take a look. I just want to see the move here. So if we go from, let's see, the bottom to back here, that would be like a 52% move. Because remember we were looked at the weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly for a quick sec.
Okay.
Because the last bear market, you had a low and then a lower low, and then that was the end of the bull market. That was your cycle low, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, because if you take that low to that rally, is 44%. But we still came down to make it a new low for the cycle. So so from November of 2021, we continued down, and we even came down here and we rallied here. You know what I mean? Like even the first leg down, oops, wrong one. The first leg down rallied up 47%, and then it made another leg down.
Dude, have you ever done the bar pattern thing?
The bar pattern thing.
Okay, so grab the fifth down from the left, like go into there. Yeah, that. Yeah, now hit the caret to open that up, and go to bar pattern. Now go from, say, like the top of the top. Go click on the top of that to the bottom, or wherever you want, because it's basically going to copy that candle. And then you can slide that over to where we're at now, man. And you can be like, wait, whoa. Like that.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, this would be like this.
Yeah. Like you could
Yeah.
actually touch it to where we're at right now, and it like there was like I was doing this yesterday. It lines up like almost identically with like what we're
This is
looking.
crazy. And people say Bitcoin isn't cyclical. But yeah, no, absolutely. I've seen other creators put posts in this, and yeah, but it's really just because Bitcoin makes the same kind of patterns on the way up as on the way down, right? It's continuous bear flags
I
over and
think
over and
like
over.
at some point now, at what point do you think things become more textbook only because you're starting to see more AI, you're starting to see more bots, and that is programmed in to do certain things. And like once that becomes not that it would become like the norm, but the overwhelming like majority where you have these bots trading on patterns, there's no emotion, all that stuff. Like, at what point do you start to see like these identical moves start to happen only because that's the algorithm that the bot sees? Does that make
Uh,
sense?
I think I think for that to change, I think the system has to change because right now we have a debt refinancing cycle. We have, and that's kind of where the market goes. It follows the debt refinancing cycle because the government's got to refinance their debts at different rates. So the federal bank, moves your interest rates up or down, and it changes based on that, right? So until that changes, I don't see the markets really changing in that sense. But I do see Bitcoin changing because it's new, that as more money comes into it, it's just going to take more money to move it, right? So as the market cap gets bigger and bigger, the volatility will die. In my opinion, I would argue that Bitcoin's volatility has gone down like significantly. Like, God, remember 2017, how many dips there were on the way up?
I cannot believe that we haven't seen a $15,000 candle day.
I don't know if we ever will, because it just takes so much more money to move Bitcoin now. And as the market cap gets bigger and bigger, it's going to even, become even more harder, like exponentially, right? To move the needle. So yeah, I don't know if you're gonna see that anymore, especially because a lot of if you're seeing banks and hedge funds and all that stuff get into Bitcoin, those are not like short-term holders. Those are like long-term holders for the most part. Like they'll maybe do a couple swing trades, but for the most part, that's a long-term hold. Like those aren't people that sell like, with high frequency.
You speak, did you see there was like something that came out the other day, and this makes me laugh so much. Of there's like some metric going around of the average hold time of like a pump fund, like, or I think like the Solana meme coin, like they've been able to determine like how long people are holding their like positions, and it's
Minutes.
like 55 seconds. Like they're
Not even a minute.
going on here.
Bro, that's literally TikTok brain right there.
Oh, dude, just rotten brain. Like you don't even know what is going on. Like just step away. Go grab a Pokemon deck, dog. Like
I'm not gonna lie. Like I bought the Jana coin when she was gonna fight Aaron,
Mhm.
and I sold that shit as soon as Aaron knocked her out.
And she launched her old coin. I didn't know that actually.
Dude, I was like in the charts, in the trenches, just like doing what I do in the charts, and I was bored, so I'm like going on what was it? No, it was Pump Fun. I went to see what
Fun.
the hell I went to explore, like see what kind of live streams Pump Fun, and then I see Jan. I'm like, hey, I know her, and then she literally had just launched the coin as I was watching it. It was like a late night stream. I think she was like like drinking and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure she was already drunk, and and yeah, like it was. I just stumbled upon it, and then I'm like, oh, I know her. And then she's fighting Aaron. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll buy the coin. Mind you, I would prefer have bought the blonde broker's coin, but she didn't have one. So,
Right.
so I bought Jana's, and I said, hey, you know what? I put, it was like $50. I didn't put much in there, and I had some money in my Phantom wallet already. So I'm just like, okay, let me try it out, use this to explore Pump Fun and what it's all about. And yeah, it went up a bit. It went up a little bit. I didn't make a whole lot of money on it, but yeah, as soon as Aaron knocked her out, I sold it. I was like, this has got to go. This has got to go down. But I definitely held it for a lot longer, like much longer than the average Pump Fund holder. So
That was crazy when I saw that metric, man. That made me laugh. It's just like, oh, fellas,
It's
trench,
so true though.
trench
Like
warriors, man. You got to learn to hold on to something.
it's it was exciting. I'll be honest with, like, when Trump coin came out, I was again in the charts. I was hanging out in Discord with Doug Hype and Aaron was on the Blonde Broker was on the Discord too, and I was giving them TA live as they were trading it, like okay, buy now, no, sell now, buy now, sell now. Like I was just making like both legs all the way up. Like I think I made Doug and the Blonde Broker a little bit of money that night. So like that's, I was like got my little practice in for trading there, but it was fun. I didn't trade it. I should have because man, it went up like crazy. We got in. I'm pretty sure when we started trading it, it was like $4, and yeah, it went all the way up. Like and
That
then
thing ran.
it ran. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We went to bed, and Doug was like, "I don't know, should I sell it?" I mean, so he sold some, and like I wake up in the morning and I saw that it went up to like $18. He's like, man, I should. He could literally. I woke up to him freaking like messaging me. He's like, dude, I should have held it. Like,
Oh man.
yeah, it was so funny. It was a very interesting. Again, the trenches were fun in the bull markets, but like that's when you want to be. Don't be in the trenches now. It's gonna be
No,
it's
dude, they were so much. They were so much more fun back then. That's for sure. Definitely a lot more activity, a lot more action, a lot better sentiment. That's for sure. I would.
Oh. Hey, I still own some Cuba coin. I own a piece of Cuba, so Trump, if you're gonna take it, I need my cut, please.
Yeah, I will definitely get a percent for sure.
All right, so speaking of Trump, Trump and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire. Markets pumped. That looked pretty nice. So maybe this could be the catalyst for some upside momentum. Maybe April might be a nice month. Into May, maybe we have some, some relief. Like we showed, we showed that rally that could potentially get into 80s. This might be what starts it, right?
Now, did you see that Israel started throwing bombs at Lebanon? So now Israel and Iran are back on the table for war against each other. I think the U.S. Trump's got to be like, wait, what just happened? Like, Netanyahu, what are you doing? Quit being a Yahoo.
I feel like a part of me feels like that Trump is like, okay, he's got his out with the ceasefire, but like I feel like Israel and US are so kind of closely tied. That's like, okay, you're gonna fight this now. You know what I mean?
From what you hear, look, I'm out here to speculate. I don't want to cause any more conspiracy theories or whatever, but I feel like Israel's pulling the strings on a lot of this stuff, right? And maybe had some blackmail on us to get us to participate in the first place. Because if you look at the history, and this isn't a political show, guys, so sorry if this upsets or whatever. Like, but if you looked at like the political history of like what Trump says, and like the whole idea was never get into a war in the Middle East like that. Like you look at past things that Trump had said, it was just like the antithesis of what he wanted to do because it made no sense, and he obviously ran like against the premise of like not going to war and all this stuff. So like, I just don't know. I don't know what happened and why we're there.
It's honestly crazy. Governments ruin everything. Like I've studied a lot of history, and from what I've learned from all the stuff that I've studied for history is that governments ruin everything. Kings and queens have ruined kingdoms because of greed. Look at like people that have taken over the world. I think it was Genghis Khan that basically took over a good chunk of the world. Failed at Russia when he tried to get into there, and from a lot of people that I've like different not genres, different eras, people have had empires fall because they got too greedy. They took too much. They couldn't sustain it. Greece, same thing. Rome couldn't. It's conquest that takes you out. There's too many wars, and then eventually, you die off. And I feel like the U.S. has got to be careful with this kind of stuff. They got to really pick and choose their battles because war is expensive. You're going to make more of a deficit and everything like that. Like, I feel like, yes, like you got to do, like, sometimes you got to protect yourself. But on the other hand, the more wars you have, the more you're likely the country is going to fail, right? Because you're spending so much money, and you can't tax everybody to make up that deficit, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes they can try.
Yo, what up in the chat? Smash the likes. Let's go. Yeah, smash those likes buttons, homies.
What's going
What's
on?
going on, Michael Navarro? And I saw a comment earlier. Bit for Fun 21. If we flip the 200-day, would you think lower lows are off the table? So my model is when we flip to 200. I don't know what time frame, so maybe tell me what time frame you're talking about. I think it was the 1 hour that we were on before.
You can look
No,
on the
it was the
daily.
weekly. Was it?
Let's see. On the daily, we're well below the 200 day.
Yeah, so my line in the sand has always been daily, below daily, bad, above daily, good. So yes, we could very well go on a nice little run if we get above the 200-day moving average, but we got to hold it. So we'll see, because we can just do something like this where we above it and then down, right?
I
So
feel like I need to throw like okay, so I got a short in on VDEX. We got that thing locked and loaded with a take profit at 68.5, but I know we wanted to actually bump that up. We're gonna bump that to the top. We got some 69.169 is where we're actually gonna throw our take profit on that. There's 69.180 is where we moved it to. We're gonna take profit. There was we had a nice little candle action on April 7th at 5 and 6 in the morning that popped out there. That gave us some got a little bit of support. That's where I'm gonna hit it.
69,180. Where is that? Oh, that's all the way down here. Yeah. So we gotta lose this liquidity here. So that would be
Oh, that's probably too far then, huh?
it depends how you. It depends. It's up to you. Like I'm not gonna tell you where to sell, but like just keep in mind the gap. The gap is right around 69.9. That's like what will happen is like you might stop here and consolidate for a little bit, and if you are gonna go down, it's just this will be an area where kind of it fights for a bit.
It'll stop, go up, and then go back. All right, so all right, we set it at 69,958. That's where I got my my stop or my take profit at for that.
Yeah, and honestly, if it gets down to this level, you can just bring your stop loss into profit and just let it ride.
Yep.
And see, because we never know what's going to go. Like I took a short like here on the. So here I'm going to go for my replay. I'll show you where I was and where my mind was at today. So let's go to replay, start new. So what I did, I was right here. No, right here. Okay. So I saw this today, and this is what in my trading group we call.
I don't think it's gonna pump from there, dude. It totally looks like that's right.
See, I see it very differently. I see cat ears, which is a double top pattern, which usually comes down. So you see, it looks like a cat, right? You get the head and the cat.
Oh, wait, no. That's not cat ears, man. I guess you could draw a cat face on there. That's right. Okay, now I'm remembering. I put out a tweet today. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, but I'm telling you, bro, like that looked to me like Batman ears.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Where is that post?
I actually commented on that post. That was a good one.
Yes. So that's what it looked like. It was starting to make the other side of Batman's face, and it just didn't happen.
No, it was.
Yes,
he'd be more like he's more chiseled. Wow, my drawings are amazing. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, it's some sort of Batman. But yeah, so,
it's just a man and some dude in a latex mask, man.
It's funny. We have a local Batman here, and he's he's a brown Batman. He's in where I live, there's a lot of South Asians, so he's a South Asian Batman. But he actually has like the nice car that looks like the old Batmobile. It's really cool. He does a lot of events around the city.
Oh, that's fun.
But what I saw here is, I saw that double top pattern essentially, and I'm like, and I see this big like gap here. I'm like, we gotta come back somewhere here or somewhere here. Like right? Are we gonna hang out here? So that's what I saw. That's where I shorted. So I played the short, and then as you can see, it starts to play out here. I got the candle, and I got out right around here. When we started getting above the smooth moving average again, I'm like, okay, I think trend might be changing. So I got a nice win here, and then we came up. See, I would have got stopped out, so it was a good thing that I took my profits, because I definitely would have got stopped out. But then it came back down, so like It was very choppy, a little bit of volatility today, just to get traders on both ends. The best entry obviously would have been that if you caught that rally this afternoon here. Oh, no, this was 9 a.m. If you got this rally around 9 before the market opened, you could have shorted that. And if you like, in my mind, when I woke up this morning, I saw the chart, I was short because
Yeah.
what I saw on the hourly was a head and shoulders, right? It was the head, shoulder, shoulder, and I was gonna take that slanted head and shoulders, and it just didn't play out. But we're still going down. Where we stop is anybody's guess.
We're gonna stop at 69,958. That's where
Absolutely, that's exactly where we're going.
right
How'd
on
you
the
get?
nose. Dude, there have been times I'm sure that you've had this in your trading career where you've definitely not put in the trade, but you set your lines and it like literally goes like exactly to where you had decided, right? And then like the next time you get in, you're like, all right, well, it's gonna happen again. And it literally like will go down exactly to your level, like exactly to your level. And it just makes you feel so good. You're like, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, it's that little boost of confidence. Like, hey, I actually know something.
Yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
no, you're right. I sell way too early all the damn time. Because like
Profit dog. Like I'm with you. Same.
it's hard because like I believe I'm right. Again, I think the longer I do this, I'll build that confidence. But right now, I don't, especially in this market, man, because a news event comes out like in the middle of the day, and boom, you get a pump, right, or a dump or whatever. So like,
You never know. Dude, okay, so like same thing. Like I was in an oil long. I was up 80%. I was up over $100. And then I started getting nervous. So I put in a stop in the profit at $75. And it just wicked down to that. It cleared me out. I got the money, and then it like dropped. I think it's dropping a little bit more. And like, dude, it's okay. Like, I have to remind myself, like, I won the trade. I do that a few times. I'll make what I want every day. That's no problem. That was one trade. I've been in probably 10 to 15 trades today. So we're doing okay. But it's that PTSD of knowing that, again, the market could change at any second. Somebody could get on and Trump could Truth Social and be like, the strait's open, free oil for everybody. And then, you know what I mean? Then it's just going to go back down. Like it's just so crazy what's going on right now. And I think the moral story, long story short, is you take the profits and you get ready for the next trade and you don't think about it again, right?
absolutely, like this is Tuesday, right? And this is what kind of caught me on Tuesday. So if we look at the Tuesday market, we had shoulder, oopsies, we had a shoulder ahead, and we made a shoulder, right? And you would have thought dump, which we did, but then who saw this coming? Right? It was such a weird day on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Monday? Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday was so weird because I'm thinking short, but what happened on the 1 hour is we came to that, we just bounced here, right? Actually, I think it was the 15-minute.
It's crazy how it just literally touches that line. That's
And
the 50?
Yeah, so this is where we were at. We're dumping, and all the time frames, and I'm sure, I don't know if you were watching, I was even in my trading group there, everybody was just like feeling the same way. The 5-minute looked bearish. The 5-minute had a head and shoulders. The 1 hour had a head and shoulders, and I believe the 15-minute had, no, the 1 minute had a head and shoulders. So everything looked bearish. But this is what held us. The 1 hour, we bounced off the 200-day moving average, and then you literally went on this absolutely massive rally. So I'm learning as I've been paying attention to the charts more and more. I've been seeing this just because, again, the more you're here, the more you're going to kind of see like things happen over and over.
Yep.
It's these moves, like the way that the 200 and that smooth moving average, they work together is very interesting. It's crazy when you really pay attention to it. Like, let me go on a smaller time frame. You see this a lot on smaller time frames. So let me look at something like where we were dumping here. Okay, here's an idea here. You came up and then you had a huge move down. You're thinking here, when you're in this right here, forget about this. When you're here, you're thinking we're done. Like we lost the 200-day moving average. But you know what? Ignore the price and look at this moving average. So, for example, if I'm in a long or a short here, I wouldn't exit. Like if I got in a long, so the idea is the 21 that crosses the 200, you get into a long, put your stop loss below 200, right? And I wouldn't exit that trade now until this line crosses this line, because look at the bounce. You had a bounce. You could have, you had that move right here. You didn't actually get stopped out. So that's what I've been watching, because you see it a lot, especially on the 1 minute. You see this on the 1 minute all the time, and that before had faked me out, where I would see that I'm like, okay, trend's over, and then all of a sudden I'm like, the price went below the 200-day moving average, but the smooth moving average bounced off it, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I closed my trades too early, and I would have won those trades. I was right overall, but I chickened out because price went too low. I'm like, okay, I don't want. I'm going to cut this trade off. But now I believe I've seen, and I've been trading this now, and I've been catching swing moves on the 1 minute because of this little trading thing that I saw. This little, where the hell did my chart go? Oh wait, what is it? Alt R, you said?
Yeah. Oh, it's option R for me, whatever the
Apple users. So like you'll see this on 1 minute. Let me find it here. Okay, like something like this. See, we came down. Price lost the 200-day moving average here. You had a huge wick down, but this never actually lost it. So what I've been looking for now is you catch these swing moves down and you wait for this to curl back up. So you could have got in here basically in this wick. Like you probably wouldn't have catched this. Would have been a perfect catch, right? But you could have got in here on the second candle when you start to see a green candle.
Mm-hmm.
Or when this candle closes green, you get in there, and then look at that.
Then you clearly know that it's not going to come down to support where it's been, because it's going
exactly. And this would have honestly, if you're trading the model that I show, this would have told you probably to get out, right? Stop loss below the 200-day moving average, you probably would have got stopped out, right? But I'm noticing you got to watch for these, because they will trick you. And that has helped me in a lot of trades, and I've had some wins this week because of this. So little again, it's these little things that I noticed that, I like to share with you guys, because I'm learning too. Like all this trading stuff, I'm sure we talk about. Like I'm learning. I'm not a professional trader by any means necessary. I am just I'm learning live in front of everybody, and it's like, hey, look, I noticed something.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's important to look at these stuff, man. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, the 1 minute. So you think you had mentioned before, like that seems to be where you have the most, I think it's the most granular look at it, where you can say unequivocally that it's not changing direction. It's not crossing back over, that kind of thing, right? Is that what your assumption is, that the 1 minute's the best chart to be looking at for this? I mean,
you just see it more often on the 1 minute, right? Yeah, no, you see it on all charts, but again, the 1 minute, you're going to see all these things so frequently. Whereas, for example, if you have a head and shoulders, you're going to see a head and shoulders all the time on the 1 minute, but you're going to see it like maybe 4 or 5 times in a day on the 1 hour, or even less, maybe once or twice in a day on the 1 hour, right? So that's why, again, it's not as accurate. I wouldn't just trade the 1 minute. You use bigger time frames, and you find your entries on the smaller time frames, right? So the 1 minute is where I would get my entry. So I've been playing this week back to basics, and the 1 minute is your key for success here to catching trend. Like this would have been the move right here, right? You would have crossed the 200-day moving average with the smooth moving average, right? Mm-hmm. And then price would go up, come back and touch the 21 again, the test it. You could have got in here, stop loss below, stop loss probably here, this liquidity here, or below the 200-day moving average. That was your safest entry. And then you are riding this bad boy all the way up.
Oh, man, that's a killer trade right there too.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen all the time. But if you're just below that 200-day moving average, your stop losses are going to be so tight, so you can take a couple stabs at it. You only need to win one. If you take 3, say for example, you get this moving average goes like this, oscillates a couple times. You catch the one, you lose 2 trades, but your stop losses are tight. This win will outdo any of those losses. Like,
Let me ask you a question, because I feel like that is a very subjective answer. But you and I are just regular guys. Like we are, and I feel like we like to pride ourselves in setting up normal trades, normal sizes, real expectations of what people that like we talk to and trade. Like none of us are crypto face. None of us are crypto. We are not doing $1 million positions. I'm not doing a $10 million position. Most of the time, I've got like maybe $100, $200 or $300 of margin in on whatever I've got, 50x most of the time, right? So
absolutely.
whatever that may be, those are my trades, like 5 to 10,000. Sometimes I'll bump it up to 15. Sometimes 25,000 is like what the trade is worth. And a tight stop for me is like I don't want to lose maybe more than. Usually, I don't want to lose more than $50, and it might be less. Like sometimes I might not want to lose like somewhere between 30 and $50. Like to me, that's a tight stop. Like what's a tight stop to you?
1% of my portfolio.
Oh.
I'm even lower than you, bro. Like my stop loss today was $24. I have a $2,500 portfolio, and $24 is what I'm willing to lose. And to be honest, if I see the trade not going my way, I'll cut off sooner. Like today, I had 2 attempts at that, so I took 3 trades today. The first one didn't look like it was going my way, so I cut it off, and I only lost $4. Right? I was gonna lose 24, but I'm like, I don't need to, because you always got to be fluid in the market. You can't just be married to one idea. You got to always be looking at it and be like, and always like I always like find an idea like this is what I believe is going to happen, and then as I'm looking at the charts, I'm trying to argue my way out of it. Right?
No,
Go up. So if I see confluence that continues to bring me back to my original point, then I know I'm probably on the right side of this trade. But if I can argue my way out of it, if the price action changes and it doesn't look the same anymore, and this is why you look like you get your entry in and you stay on those smaller time frames, because they'll show you where direction's going to go. Like for example, if I'm in on a trade and the 1 minute loses the 200-day moving average, then how low do we go? Look, the next step is the 5, like the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute. So I look at always the 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. Right, 1 minute is like the beginning of the move. The safer entry is the 5 minute. That's why I created my indicator, because it's more of the safer entry to get in, because the 1 minute could chop you out. But again, you can get a really nice entry. Like your safest entry, potentially, if you're catching a nice move that day, the 1 minute's going to get you there, because once you cross that 200-day moving average, you put your stop loss below. It may never go there again that day if you're really bullish, right? So, but again, 5 minute is more safer. And then you look at your 1 hour, right? Like you look at your bigger time frames to see like where you put your take profits and whatnot. But that's 1%. I've always told people 1% of your portfolio, not more than if you're emotional about it, then you have too much in there. Like if you're worried about it, then you're using way more money than you're willing to lose, and that's literally your sign by being emotional, right? So that's what I do.
And so, that does make sense. My one of my things is like, this isn't spot trading, so I'm not like I'm trying to make money when I leverage trade. So I kind of like you gotta go a little bit heavier than that. But I do respect that, and I do understand. At least you have the plan, you have the discipline, and you set that forth, and like that obviously that will continue on. I would hope, right? Like as you continue to win trades, and this is another question I have for you, because this is one of those like psychology things where like, as you continue to win your trades and your portfolio goes up, do you play that same model where it's 1%? So, say you have a $2,500 portfolio now, but you win all your trades, so now it's 25,000. Are you still risking that same amount, or are you going to scale back?
1% of the portfolio all the time. Okay. So as my portfolio grows, the idea is that that percentage grows, so that way I can put more size into the trade. So yeah, no, actually, my stop loss will grow with my portfolio essentially. Again, that's how you make more money. It compounds, right? Because as you make more money, you can take. You're taking the same amount of risk, but it's the numbers are different, right? Like it's just the more position size. So, and position size is honestly the biggest thing. Like when you're calculating your trade, for example, it's all about position size. Like for example, if I want to say I'm long here. I'm going to long here, and I believe we're going to go back to 72, 891. So this is my paper trading account. So this is $1,000 portfolio. 1% is gonna be $10. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a long. I don't do isolated anymore because I don't want liquidation prices. I just do cross because
Right.
I'm setting a stop loss anyway, so I know my portfolio is not gonna get liquidated. So we look for our take profit, for example, 72,873, 72,873, and my stop loss. I don't want to lose more than $10. So I'm gonna go and put my position size to fit that. So you can pull this up on your calculator. You can go, $1,000 times 0.01. So it's $10 is your position size. And then you can go on TradingView or even on VDEX here, long position, click it, put your stop loss, your take profit where you want it, put your stop loss to where you want it. So I'm going to put my stop loss right here, right? For example, it's a 2-to-1 risk versus reward ratio. And in the brackets here, you'll see 1.34%. That's your stop loss. So you would take your $10 and you would multiply it by 0. How does it work? 0.0. No, sorry, not multiply. You divide it. 10 divided by 0.0134, 1.34%. So $746. That's your position size.
Okay.
So you say 746, and your stop loss was 69,990, and there you go. Your stop loss is $10.
Wow.
So the 2-to-1, and that's $20 for $10. So that's how you calculate if you want to do 1% of your portfolio. That's how I do it. You map out your trade beforehand, and then you do those calculations there, and you get your position size and everything.
Oh, I love that, man. It's all about having the plan. It's all about structuring what you're doing. Do you man, now I just lost my question. Damn it.
It's all good, dude. It happens. While you're thinking about that, let's look at stablecoins. So stablecoin, I just saw an article today about like banks getting into stablecoins, and like, dude, this is gonna be, in my opinion, this is gonna be the tsunami that comes into crypto that like just like market caps are gonna go crazy. And this is going to be the mass adoption thing where like everybody's using it because it's going to be part of your banking system. It's going to be part of anything you do. Like I look at Robinhood or Venmo, and all that's all going to be using stablecoins. Credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, they're all building stablecoin networks right now. It's just so much easier to move stablecoin, especially for settlements. Like I gotta pay off my credit card right now. I put the money to pay off my credit card, and it takes 2 to 3 business days before I even see the payment went through, right?
Dude, okay, so let me ask you. I've talked about this on my morning show before. Let me ask you a question about this. This is with stable coins, and this is like, in my opinion, this is how the industry grows up, and we get away from like the meme coin and the promise of like, oh, you're gonna 1,000x your money. The whole idea of what crypto does is it's permissionless, it's borderless, it's just a whole new way of doing things, right? And so if we think about the premise of a meme coin where anybody could launch it and it's your business, it's your community, it's your whatever. So, and I always use the example of like Jimmy the plumber, right? So it's Jimmy the plumber, and he wants to have Jimmy the plumber token. And so that's what he's using for his ecosystem because that's his business, and he wants to be crypto friendly and all this stuff. So now, and there's, you have the swap to where you can swap your Tether, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, whatever, into Jimmy the plumber coin, and that's how you pay your invoice or whatever. But so now, instead of it being like a coin that's dependent on rising, it's a stable coin. And all you worry about with your stable coin, with your business, is the market cap, because that shows that you're doing business. That shows that you're operating, that your economy is booming, all this kind of stuff, right? Like you got $100,000 market cap as a plumber who just launched his coin. Like you things are maybe doing right because you've been in business, or you did it a month ago, whatever. Now, like that's what drives like the whole concept of, small business using crypto. Stablecoin is very well accepted, is very well understood. There's no like, oh, I got to get, this coin up to $1,000 because like then I've made it. Like, no, it's about the market cap.
You're so right. Honestly, actually, it's funny. There's a game, a Web3 game that I've been, part of the community there. Gkoi, as that fight. Actually, you were on that show. You were on the Gkoi, the fight night, right?
Yep.
So they their token for their game is a stablecoin. It's the G coin, but it's always $1, right? It's 1-to-1 backed with $1. So, and honestly, in my opinion, games, that's how games should be, because I think it ruined a lot of Web3 games when people got in there just for financial gain, and
Right.
not so much for the game itself. Where like, and then you would sell it, and then people would make a lot of money when when things are hot, when things are new, and then everybody jumps in because everyone's making money, and then you know how it is, the rewards go down, and everybody's like, this game's shit, or this token is garbage, right? And then having a stable coin, like, you don't feel like you're, and he's so right when he said this. Jashak is the owner of the game, the creator of the game, and he said, like, you know you don't feel like you have to sell it, right? Because you don't want to lose out on that money. But if it's a stable coin, you feel like you always have that value. It's still there for you, right? If you have $10 now, it'll be $10 down the road. You don't have to worry about the token taking a 40% dip, right? So I think that's how it should be. I love that idea for businesses, and being an entrepreneur, you have your own token, your own community, whether it's a business, a community, an influencer, or a creator on, for example, like on the arena, you have your own token. That's how it should be. And I agree, I don't think the token should have these wild fluctuations. I think it's like, if you believe in the community, if you want to even just be part of the community, and you got to be a holder to be part of the community, or an NFT, whatever, that it should stay stable, because I think it ruins a lot of stuff when it goes up and down, because people come in for the wrong reasons, when if they're just coming in for the money, and they're not really there for the community. So I think they would eliminate like a lot of that. If people don't feel like they're going to get a gain, then they won't come in, right? They'll just the people that are there want to be there.
Right. I'm going to put some more thought into this and how this becomes a great community coin. I mean, I test the thesis on my own product, even though, again, like, I don't know like what the reward is, other than like, okay, so you've got the coin, now you can participate in, like, if we do events, if we do this, if we do that, like, it's an access, like it's like the NFT, so you get the access point, but you don't have to worry about getting wrecked if you spend $50 or $50 to buy 50 coins. Like, if you go to sell, you're like, I'm moving on. Like, you're still going to get your money back, minus like
I
some.
think you make just value with the coin. For example, maybe there's a way to earn yield. Maybe there's DeFi plays. Maybe you can use it for trading. Like, not trading the coin, but use it for, like, on a trading platform that you can deposit and use that as like a stable coin to trade with, right? You can build value, and I really think the big value that comes to a lot of these communities, it's like that feature, like, the private club, right? Like, the events, I think, are huge. I think that'd be really great. Like, we know some influencers that are having parties up at the conferences and stuff like that, like something like that, right? That's the value. The value is the people, and being like, especially like, for you, the Web3 breakfast community, like, it's a tight-knit group, man. We've been here for, God, how many years have we been doing this? It's crazy, like, how, when I look back at when I got into the space, and actually, like, took the dive into like making content, it's like, the core group, we're still here, man. We're still
It-
vibing, saying GM every morning, doing our things, meeting in
it-
real life. Like,
it's a good way to show support and to be a part of it. But like, dude, there'd be like zero chance of getting rugged. Like, if the coin, and like, I mean, unless like it depegs, which I don't know how that would happen, right? Like, I think the business would have to hold more than 51% of the coins. Is that how that works?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Again, if you have $1 in, it's $1 in, right? Like, maybe. See, what I could say, like this, I would run it like a business. Like, if it was me, I would run it like a business. It's backed by, if your token is backed 1-to-1 with $1, but I might take those dollars into something super safe, like, and just earn yield on it. I'm locking it up, so I'm not losing money. There's no risk of permanent loss, like staking or something like that. But
So
maybe
how,
there's.
so how would that work? So say you launched a stable coin, right? And all the people in the community wanted to buy some of that coin. Obviously, like, the point is for not to go up, but you want the market cap to go up. So the more people that buy it, that generates like that higher market cap. But apparently, like,
You get paid
what I
fees,
would,
right?
not But what you'd have to figure out is like, yeah, so if somebody wants to stake that and be like, I'm a community member, I'm going to stake it for a year, and then the reward is, X percent or whatever, like, where does that money come from? Like, as the business owner, like, could you then, but you're not
There's
getting, so like, I don't know how you get,
you
how you
do get
got the
no.
extra money to build the yield.
I think it depends on the platform, but I know Arena you can launch coins and you get paid in fees. So every time someone buys or sells, there's a fee associated with that. And I believe you can get a revenue based on the fees, and then you can take the revenue from the fees, reinvest that to some sort of yield to create passive income for the business to be able to build more value onto it.
You buy Bitcoin and then everybody
And
gets a,
never having to sell the principal, which is the one-to-one.
yeah.
That's I
You and
think
I,
that
we just revolutionized fucking crypto right now, dude, because that means like the point is like people can't get wrecked. Like you can't join a community and get wrecked. You join a community to show support, and then boom, like that's how you do it, man. I think we just built $1 trillion business right now.
dude, I think this is my biggest problem with Web3 since I've been in it is a lot of projects are like not doing the things that made Web 2 successful financially. There's very bad money management in crypto. Like people spend like egregious amounts of money on like events and conferences, and like, do you need to spend 100 grand to rent out a club in New York? Probably not, right? Do you think that money could be probably served elsewhere? Maybe you can do an event, but does it need to be a club in New York City that's probably like hundreds of thousands of dollars? Like, I don't think you need that, right? So I think there's a lot of, I think we need to mesh Web 2 to get people that are like, that know how to run a successful business in to run the books and
Well,
like,
that's
manage money
one of my
better.
biggest gripes that I have with Web3 or crypto or whatever. The whole idea was like, oh, I'm going to launch this, and my crowdfunding or my fundraising is going to be the token launch or the NFT launch. Like, you guys are going to fund my business. Like, no, bozo. Like, do your business, be successful, and then offer it, because then you have something successful to offer. Like, don't make everybody the guinea pig who potentially is going to get wrecked, because like 9 out of 10 businesses are failed from the beginning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Army Piper says all this does is open all the institutions to create their own regulated stable coins for transactions on blockchains, tokens, and control systems. And yes, that will make a lot. There's going to be a lot of private blockchains because the blockchain itself is,
That's already happening.
it's public. Oh yeah,
That's
no,
already
absolutely.
happening. Like, that's deposit tokens. Like, if you guys are like, we talk about this like almost every single morning. Like, what you're seeing a lot of the banks like shift to is a deposit token. Like, they're not fucking with stable coins. They're doing deposit tokens because like that's their own system. It's like the intranet versus the internet. Like, they've got their own thing going and they love it. It's called deposit tokens, and they don't have to deal with stable coins like USDC or USDT. It's their own
I
game.
wonder if you'll be able to, if they will connect to the blockchain, if you'll be able to, for example, say I deposit money into the bank and I get their whatever tokens. Can I buy Bitcoin, or am I buying a derivative Bitcoin? Can I connect to the blockchain and buy the actual Bitcoin with those things? Like, that's what I wonder, if they'll be able to, have some sort of exchange where you can do that. I'll be honest with you, if banks start doing this, these deposit tokens and all that, you're just pushing people into DeFi more. Like, I think DeFi is going to have another DeFi summer maybe, because nobody wants all that, like, the bank to have all that control. You want to be able to, I want to be able to take money from my bank, transfer it here, do whatever I want with my money. Whether I'm still using the bank. Like, right now, for example, I can, from my bank, I can go ahead and buy actual Bitcoin, and then take that Bitcoin, send to my own personal wallet, right? I feel like if they start doing these deposit tokens, will you actually be buying Bitcoin? Will those deposit tokens not be allowed to actually connect to the real blockchain? Or are you just buying a derivative Bitcoin, like an IOU, and it'll be one of those weird things where, like, oh, you can't you need to take out one Bitcoin. You might have to wait 14 business days. And sorry, what did you need this money for again?
Oh,
Like,
guaranteed, because it's, again, yeah, that's the difference. Is like it's a private blockchain. It's not, they're not connected to public blockchains, and so they'll be able to do their own rules. I knew this was something I was looking at. It's a story that I'd covered the other morning on the show. Is that there is a retail giant over in Korea, and they've signed like an agreement with a bank in the Bank of Korea to advance like a Project Hangang, and this is their pilot program for a CBDC and the deposit tokens, and it's where people can use these deposit tokens at the convenience stores, and it's just like, wait a second, like,
This
you
this
like
reminds me of
get money
Japan.
from the bank and be like, can I get like some deposit tokens so that I can go like buy some bread and milk at the convenience store? Like, how is this all going to? It's very interesting because again, they're private blockchains. It's not like it. I would think that there's got to be some synthetic version. It's got to be some kind of a wrapped version. If you want to be able to get Bitcoin in, you got to get a wrapped Bitcoin and then you switch it to whatever the deposit token is. Like, dude, it's going to be crazy and it's going to be like monitored, like for sure.
So in Japan, they have something called a Suica card. So it's like a transit card. Like you can go and take the subway, but it's like a reloadable card. You can use it at grocery stores, convenience stores, wherever. Like it's like a one-stop shop. Like you just load it with money all the time, and you can use it almost anywhere in Japan. So I like that's kind of like that reminds me of that idea, like the same idea. Deposit tokens used anywhere. And do you not at that point basically have a CBDC? Like,
No, like that's like what it is. Like, I mean, so that's like the thesis of this video that I'm putting together. So like I've got something that I've got to do about the AI wallets that's going to come out later this week. But the video that I'm starting to work on for the deposit tokens, the stablecoin, and the CBDC, it's like, what's the difference? What's the same? Like how do we safeguard ourselves? Because like even with the CBDC, like here in the United States, the whole idea was like it was a no-go. Like we weren't doing that. But now all of a sudden it's just until 2030. Why? Like is it the inevitable push?
honestly, it's coming. Like I really think, especially when in regards to that, reminds me of MasterCard and Visa. That's essentially what they're going to be building. They're going to be building cards to be able to work with these tokens. So all these big banks will probably, get in on that the MasterCard and Visa network, or they'll probably use the MasterCard and Visa network as their infrastructure for that, right? So I really think it's going to be very interesting with stable coins, but I still think it's a net positive. Like you kind of like it may not be the way we want to see it, but it's people using the technology. Once they start using it, you know, not everybody's gonna branch out, but even a percentage of people branching out and be like, oh, this is uses blockchain. What is blockchain? And you start looking it up, and then you get down the weeds, right? And then all of a sudden you get more adoption into crypto. It's like, oh, I would rather just hold the actual asset. But when you talk about private blockchains, like Canada just did a test transaction for treasuries using a private blockchain called Hyperledger, to be able to buy and settle, instant settlement of transactions on treasuries. So like they're going to do it. Of course, the government wants a private blockchain. They don't want the public knowing all their transactions. So it makes sense from that point to have private blockchains for security reasons, national security. But yeah, it's not going to be, I don't want to see a world where we can't even if I go and buy, some apples and some produce at a farmer's market with some cash, I don't need the government knowing that I bought apples. Like it doesn't matter to them.
No, but to them, they feel like it matters to them because they want to know everything.
And that's what we got to fight against. We need to have our freedom of, we still need to have privacy. Like again, follow the rules, don't break the law, but like, you know what I mean? Like we should have privacy. It just feels, feels weird to not
like. I'm with you on all of this stuff. Let me ask you a question. Like, where do privacy tokens like Zcash or Monero, like, where do these things fit in as we're starting to see, like, honestly, like the global adoption of blockchain? And I use blockchain just because, like, I want to be a little bit more generic there. However, like Bitcoin is like the most accepted. We are seeing a lot more ETFs though push. Today I saw Canary, it was either 21 shares or Canary Capital filed an ETF for Pepe. Like, why?
Good luck
Like,
to those investors.
Building up for an index fund is one thing, but like, why do we need an ETF for Pepe? Like, it's just going to be an ETF that has like nothing except for like bozos that are thinking that it's going to do something.
Maybe it's, again, if there's demand for it, if someone saw, hey, there's some demand for this, they're going to make money on fees, right? So why for them there's no risk to them.
How much demand do you think there is for a Pepe ETF though?
I don't know. I really I don't think there is, but maybe I could be wrong. Like I don't really know much about Pepe. Maybe there's a vibrant community, or maybe someone's like, hey, maybe they, you know what it is.
But
This is probably what it is.
it's like Dogecoin. It's like SHIB. It's they are they're the legacy meme coins that made it through. But like there is nothing's gonna happen. Like the industry's too diluted of meme coins for them to ever do anything. Like they were first movers, they were here. We'll give them the credit. I understand that, but it's never gonna do what it did. Like there is no reason for that unless like you need to have meme exposure as an institution. That seems weird though.
So here's my thesis on this. I'm just thinking about this now. Um, it is when they launch. You know how long it takes for an ETF to get approved and get live, right?
It was like 200 some days or something like that, right?
So maybe when they initially filed for it, it was great. Pepe was great. And by the time it got accepted and goes live, it's like, yeah, maybe Pepe's not so good anymore. So maybe it's something like that, where just by the time it got launched, it was a no go. But hey, we'll see. I hear a lot of people like I don't know, a lot of people. I hear some people rumbling about Pepe. Not for me, but
Not me.
who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe they think that it's gonna create the hype because there's an avenue for it now. But it's like, maybe it's just like the floodgates are open. Like open it up to everything, and then we'll see what sticks, right? Does it cost? How much does it cost a firm to have like an ETF open for Pepe, for example? Does it have like does it matter? Like does it actually like cost them anything if there's not a lot of people in there? If that's the case, if it costing them, then yeah, they'll get rid of it probably.
I'm really glad that you just said that. That reminded me. We have to take a look and see if the new there was a new Bitcoin spot ETF that launched today, but I don't see it on here.
Oh, I got it here. Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, but I don't see it on I like a CoinGlass on their ETFs. I can look at this shit every day. Like, I see it didn't make it on here.
Did it just? I think it just got live today. So Morgan Stanley's
Today,
Bitcoin ETF draws 34 million in day one. So not bad. It ain't no BlackRock, but
no, BlackRock did today. BlackRock did. Let's refresh here.
Well, but BlackRock's launch was like I think like the best launch like ever for anything.
Oh, that's crazy. It's not. They didn't update their totals yet.
So Army Piper says most people in TradFi will not research how blockchain works. Sadly, 90% of bank users have never researched how traditional banking works. They were shocked over fractionalized banking.
You know, it took me until I got into crypto to understand what fractionalized banking was.
Same. That's where like you get really in the weeds of investing. That's why I really love reading about Bitcoin and some of the Bitcoin books. It's like it teaches you history before it really brings in Bitcoin. You have to understand why it's valuable before you can just here's Bitcoin, right? And you're right. Most people don't care. Most people don't give a crap what's under the hood. Most people aren't going to research things. But I look at it this way: the more people using it, even if it's a tiny percent, if like 5 billion people are just using it, the technology unknowingly, it's just happening under the hood. But there's 1% of that, or 0.5% of that say, what the hell are we doing? What are we using? And looking, and that's a lot of people coming into crypto. That's a lot of people coming into adoption. You're right. Like a lot of people don't care, aren't going to look under the hood. But I still think any adoption is good adoption. I think it takes time. But I do believe that as we have more institutions come in and more private blockchains and more eyes on our transactions, it's going to really push people into privacy. And that's where I think, you're asking me about, Zcash and all that. I think the more government controls there are, it'll just naturally push people into an alternative, right? People will look for privacy. If there's not going to be cash anymore someday, and it's just going to be digital, and there's no privacy of your little day-to-day transactions, people naturally gravitate towards looking for privacy. Like the pendulum will have to swing that way, and it's all dependent on the government. If the government just like lets people still be free and have privacy in their transactions, and trust that the people will report their taxes and stuff like that. And if they don't, you can audit them, and you do your research, and
I feel like it's a much easier thing to do with blockchain than it is with anything else. It's always an easy thing. The fact that like you've got to come up with this magic formula that they know the answer to, but like they can't just tell you what the answer is like ahead of time. Like blockchain, I think, will be a much easier solution for that stuff if taxes are a thing in the future. I'm hopeful that like that all that
Yeah.
shit goes away.
But you need blockchain. I've talked about this too with AI. You got all these AI agents now. Like hacking is going to get a lot worse. Like your security, like I feel like the next bull cycle, you level up your security is all I'm gonna warn you about, because you're gonna be in a world of agentic AI and AI that can learn from itself in the next couple years. And there's going to be a lot of 24/7 hackers trying to get your stuff, for phishing scams, all that kind of stuff like that. This is where blockchain comes in to secure your money. Even like your bank accounts, like normal bank accounts, your traditional bank accounts are at risk. Like the counterparty risk is like holding your money in something else that potentially are going to get hacked. Google, like my credit card, I swear to God, my credit card in the last year has been freaking frauded twice because I had it attached to Google Pay. I took it off Google Pay because, like, honestly, I like ever since I put it on there, it's twice that I've had it. I've had fraudulent things on it, and you better believe that's going to be ramped up with AI. So the only solution, in my opinion, that we have is blockchain, because an AI can't hack that, and we're not at a place where quantum's really there yet. And to be honest,
I'm,
if
I'm not
quantum
ready to
comes,
get into that quantum discussion quite yet.
dude, if quantum comes out, they don't care about your bank account. They're going to take over countries. Like you're a small fish to fry. I'd be worried about literally everything else.
Okay, so I see another Army Piper said my bank was giving me 227 per month in the amount that was earning over 130 per week in crypto exchanges. That to me, like, this is the biggest deal that we've got to get over, right? Because we know that with the
Clarity bill,
thank you, with the Clarity Act that's coming through, like the whole idea was that was the pushback was the yield on stable coins. Do you guys remember when we used to be able to get 12% on our stable coins? Like
I do. I miss those days.
Whatever it was, like whatever platform, it was 12%. And then the bank said, like, well, we can't compete with that. And we've seen that's the pushback with the bill and all that stuff now. Do you think that we're gonna okay, so it sounds like it's like the thing that came out today. I don't know if you got this article pulled up. This could be a good segue if you do. But it sounds like they said the banks actually the banks aren't going to lose money if we give retail yield. Like it's not as big of a deal as we originally thought. And that came from the White House. Ellie Tourette, I'm sure most of you guys know, if you're watching the show, you know who Ellie Tourette is. She's like the White House reporter on crypto. She's got her own show. She's been around for a while. So that was the information that came out today. I don't know exactly how that's.
They're saying the banks won't lose money.
It's not that big of a deal. The banks aren't going to lose a whole lot of money if we end up doing retail getting yield. Like the retail is like, we're not that big. Like we don't have that much money. It's like the retail institutional yield would be different. Coinbase themselves, that's why Brian was screaming like, we can't do this, because that's his business model. That was billions and billions of dollars to them. It's like a handful of bucks to like most people that have. You got to think the typical crypto, like the portfolio that most people manage is probably $5,000 or less, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking about this as you were talking about it. It's like, I'm thinking like the banks make most of their money by lending money out. Like they make money from you paying your interest on your loan, right?
You put $100 in, they're gonna lend out at least $1,000 on the $100 that you put in.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think, if you deposit your money, they get to lend it out. I'm just trying to think, like, where do they lose out on that? Not really. It's a revenue stream that takes it away from them. But again, I think most of their money that the banks are making it's lending the money out. They want to monetize. They're monetizing debt, right? And it's cost them basically nothing because they're using other people's deposits. I heard something funny today. I was listening to a podcast and the guy was talking about, how, it's like the banks lend all the money. It's like if everybody comes to take, get their money at once, they don't have it because like, where's my money? It's like, well, it's in this guy's car, it's in your house, and stuff like that. It's all over the place, right? Like, and it's just funny when you think about it, like all this money moving around, this fake money and all this debt is like it's everywhere. It's like my mortgage, and I have some of your money in my mortgage, and this guy's car's got some of my money, and it's all over the place.
The world runs on debt, man. The world, it's just all fake money. It just runs on fake money. You think about, they talk about some markets are worth quadrillions. Like, where does that come from? Where's that come from? Because there's not a quadrillion dollars in the world.
No. And that's why like crypto is the most free market we have, because there are no backstops. And people sell it goes down. It's there's nothing more natural about that, right? And you get that volatility. And again, for me, volatility is a feature, not a bug, because that's how you make money. It's tough, but like when Bitcoin gets to a point where it's pretty stable and it doesn't have these wild swings, you're not going to be able to make as much money on it. What happens to trading? Like, how much leverage are you gonna have to put out there to be able to even get like a little bit of money when Bitcoin kind of stabilizes? It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I mean, do you think like at that point you stop trading Bitcoin and you got to start trading shitters? You have to trade what have the volatility, right? It's like, well, no, that's not true, because people still trade like the S&P, they still trade the NASDAQ. Like that would be like, I think
but they use options, right?
Future, that's the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, potentially the XRP, Solana's, whatever. Like it's those things, right? Even those are more of like index funds, sort of, right?
Yeah, a lot of people trade like options, and they use like 50. There's a lot of people getting funded accounts like $50,000, but using big position size, right? So like that's what's going to have to be. I mean, like what I mean by more risk is you're going to have to use more capital to be able to make, if you want to make $1,000, for example, you're going to have to put a heck of a big position size in to make $1,000 in a day, right? Instead of like, you could probably in crypto right now, you can make $1,000 by putting in 100, $200 across, right?
Have you ever like, speaking like those prop firms, man, have you ever like been approached by any of those people to talk to you about like wanting to get like onto a prop firm?
I haven't, but I'm kind of interested to be able to start getting into that.
What I understand fucked up though, because you got to like, Doug, you got to like win 5 days in a row to even think about getting money, or else like you go into
a test.
Like, dude, it's so crazy. Like, I had this company talk to me about like they were like the insurance for the prop like deal. So like you're running like your props on your exchange, but then you're also like on their platform, you're running like an insurance thing. So like if things go bad for you on the prop firm, like you still have your insurance. So it's like, dog, like no. I just want to leverage trade on my own, on my home platform, and feel happy and not worry about like if you don't make 5 winning days in a row, like you get nothing. Like, wait, what?
Actually, we have something similar on VDEX right now. So VDEX has the Vanguard program where you get trading credits to trade, and you can't take any profits unless you have to deposit some money into. So they're not taking all the risk. But you get trading credits and you can trade. And if you're, if you're unsuccessful, they take away your trading credits, but like you can, start trading with, with some trading credits and build your portfolio up. Right. It's like a challenge. You get like 2 weeks, you got to be success. You got to be profitable and stuff like that. So it's a similar idea. Like it's kind of like taking a test. You gotta stay profitable, or else, your trading credits are gone. But they have like a deposit bonus. So when you deposit, I believe it's like 2x. I have to double check what the program's at right now. It may have changed, but yeah, you deposit. Last time I checked, it was 2x deposit bonus, and then they give you your trading credits, and off you go. Try it out. Yeah, so hey, if somebody wants to trade and do that, you can trade crypto kind of like a prop firm. You get some some trading credits to go ahead and explore and practice your trading. We got to get you on the Vanguard program, bro.
Yeah, I want to check that out. I definitely want to check that out.
Sure. Yeah, I'll talk to Mick. We'll get you on there. Okay. But yeah, so you can That's something I've been looking into because I want to trade. I want to start getting into traditional stocks because I think the model that I've learned can be used in any market. And I have been kind of like looking at not like trading, but I've been mentally trading other things on my my watch list here, like the S&P and all that stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
and seeing if I what I think is right.
Look, if you want to get into that, if you want the exposure, but you don't want to worry about the shareholder rights, you don't want to worry about having to make the calls and yada yada yada. Dog, do you have a BitUnex account yet?
I do not. I have to sign up. Send me your code. Send me your code.
Ooh, I'm gonna wait though. Tomorrow I got a new campaign launching on
Ooh,
that.
okay.
And so I'm gonna be giving away $2,000 over the next couple weeks on the platform. So it's all good. It's gonna be like almost like a lottery system and a ticket system. So based on deposits and trading, you get a ticket, and then it's like a lottery, and we'll be giving away. I don't know the actual specifics. Like we talked about some of these. It's going to be several $100s for the winner, and then like second, third place is going to be, compare a little bit comparable to that. And then there's like 100 total winners. So like pretty much everybody's going to win something. And if I happen to be one of the winners, I'm just going to give it away back to the community. So, but I'm in a Tesla long. I am the oil's back down to like $96, so that means it's probably back down to like 95 something.
It's
So I'll probably
96.83 right now.
What's that?
96.80 right now.
And so that means let's go on here. It
Tesla.
was like 90. It was in like the 95s while it was 96 there.
Let's take a look at Tesla. I haven't looked at Tesla in a while.
Oh, dude, Tesla drove me crazy today. I told you in the beginning of the show, like I was up big time, and then all of a sudden I'm down big time. Like it was a huge swing, like a 40% swing today.
Oh, they got earnings coming up in on the 22nd.
Tesla does?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. What happened today? Is it news? Q1 deliveries, latest updates. Just trying to see. Tesla faces 43.9 billion free cash flow swing as 2026 outlook turns negative. Maybe that's what it.
I know. So like one of the big things that I was looking at last year, and this was before I was trading stocks, and I want to get more into this. I want to start looking at more of the TradFi stuff too as well. But I had seen an article that like India, like the amount of units that Tesla was sending to India had gone way down. I think it was either South Korea or Taiwan, same kind of thing, like way down. Like numbers were way down, and this was back at the end of 2025. So it could just be continuing to slide. I know there's other options for EVs. There are cheaper options now. So
yeah, that's what's happening in Canada. So Canada just took off the tariffs for Chinese EVs. So now you're going to see some competition between like BYD. Like you can get a BYD here for like, I think I saw a chart like of the MSRP like landed price in Canada. I think they're like some of the BYDs are like 22,000, 25,000
Canadian. 5 base for a Tesla, right?
Like the Model 3 right now in Canada is about about 80 grand when you look at it. Like when actually no, that's not true. That's the long range. If you get the short range, you're probably looking at like 70 grand. Yeah, things like 10,000 less. So like 70 grand. The new Model Y, because of those Chinese tariffs, they allowed they made like a cheaper version, like like different seats, again, a little less premium inside. And that's like 54,000. So that's a big drop. That's like $20,000 off the normal Model Y. So they have Tesla has a factory in Shanghai. So I wouldn't be surprised if you started to see some cheaper Teslas come out with like cheaper options, because right now, before it was just like this is the models, long range or short or regular range, and that's it. But now maybe they give it a little bit more options to make it a little cheaper. We'll see.
Very interesting. I'm gonna be looking. Let's see. You could do a.
Let me look at the daily here. The daily looks nasty. You can almost kind of call this like a fallen wedge here. It's just.
I'm telling you, dude. Like it looks bearish AF. This is big.
This is what I would. If you're gonna trade it, like if you're looking at something here, I would look for it to break if you're gonna go to the upside, this upper channel.
Yeah.
But we don't know where this is gonna stop, right? Like this can continue going. In my opinion, the stock market should be continuously going down this year. Like this is a down year in my opinion. Traditionally, because bear market, election pre-election year.
Wouldn't you think with like a huge war in the Middle East, oil going up to $120 a barrel, like I feel like EV should pump.
I'll be honest, I've been loving driving an EV during this time. I think it cost me like at home to charge my Tesla like $5. It's great.
Oh my god, it was like $30 to fill up the tank.
I saw these memes. It was like what was his name? John Selleck with the the guy with the mustache.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like EV owners right now, and it's just literally cuts of him turning and smiling to the camera. It was just like I was like, yep. My wife's like, I gotta fill up the vat. It's so expensive. I'm like, I don't even go to gas stations anymore.
I had seen I don't know if it was real or if it was an AI generated image, but somebody, it was like the back end of a bumper of a Tesla, and they put a sticker on there and said, I had this before the Iran war.
I have seen that. It's hilarious. Yep. Absolutely. It's so funny. Like my cousin was so anti Elon Musk and everything, bought a Model Y. Now he's like a fanboy. It's so funny.
Yes, man. It's funny. I'm on Tesla.com right now looking at inventory. You could buy I'm on new inventory on the Tesla website. You can get a brand new 2026. It's a 2026 repaired new vehicle with 50 miles. It is the Model Y for $38,790 USD.
Wow. That's pretty comparable. Like, think about it. Like, that's a premium car, right? For the most part, that's pretty comparable to, like an Audi, like a BMW.
Yeah, like probably even 40,000. Yeah, because like a Camry is going to be 20 something. A Lexus, yeah, just like a mid entry level.
Yeah. So that's, in my opinion, when EV cars get to that, start competing with gas cars in that price range, you're gonna probably start seeing a lot of people go into that. But it depends on where you live. Like, energy prices are different everywhere, so it doesn't make sense to have an EV in everywhere. Like,
oh, dude, I'm done. I'm selling the fucking Kia like ASAP. I could get a long range all-wheel drive 2020 pre-owned. Same. We're on the Model Y for $24,000.
Oh my god, that's crazy. For real? That's crazy. That's good,
dude. I'd rather have that. It's got the long range. I don't know if it has it's got auto steer. Okay, auto steer is the difference. And
that's basic autopilot. So that is what I remember I discussed, where it'll keep the lane for you. The same thing. That's like
what I got. So you need FSD. That's fully self-driving is FSD, right?
But it's a subscription now. So now you can just pay. It's $100 a month Canadian. So that's probably like $75 or something like that American.
Oh, dude, that's so worth it. That's like a couple trades, man. That's one trade a week. It's what 1 day's worth of trading to get yourself your self-driving car. Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, I think some of them, if you buy one, depending on the year, if you buy one that has full self-driving, it might be transferable. Like, it already might have it on the car already for lifetime. Because they used to, because people can buy it outright. Like, I think it's like 10 grand or whatever it is, and you can buy the FSD for life. So if they bought it, it might be on that account and you might be able to have it. So, but it's
auto steer.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
All right, I'm gonna have to take a look at this. I might have to. I've wanted it for so long, dude. For so long. What's the bottom barrel for a pre-owned? Oh, dude, 29,000 for a 2018.
How many kilometers?
It's actually got a lot of money. There you go. 32,000 for 60,000 miles. I would take that one on a 2018.
2018? Yeah. The only thing, so Tesla gives you a 8-year warranty on the battery and the powertrain. And then from what I understand, the motors are usually, they say they're rated up to 1 million kilometers, but
what's 75D versus 100D? Do you know what that means? Is that the long range?
That is the range of the battery. So 100D would be more range, and 75D would be less. So I believe the 75D has like 350 50 kilometers range. So probably, what is that in miles? Divided by 2.2. Oh no, 1.6.
You ever heard of the ludicrous performance?
Yeah, that's the fucking fast
My
one, bro.
guy, dude, there is a 100D ludicrous performance. It's a 2018 with 80,000 miles for 38 grand. Let's go.
I think that's like 0 to 60 in like, what is that, like 2.5 seconds or something like. Yeah, that's the really, really fast one. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, it's that's it. Couple trades away, and we're gonna be a Model X.
hit a couple big ones. I'm gonna hit that oil long. I'm gonna hit that one tomorrow. Definitely has come back, dude. I'm so glad that I set that profit because I would have been like, I probably would have been underwater, but I ended up pulling $75 out the trade. It was probably, I think I had a little over $100 in it. That's what I've been just testing the waters on the stock. So like, dude, I got like $101 of margin on the Tesla, the trade. On the oil thing, it was probably like, yeah, maybe like 125 at the absolute most. Because I'm just testing the waters, just trying to check it out.
Yeah. I love that, man. I'm gonna get I'm bidding like literally just to trade the traditional stuff.
Cool. And you can do a bunch of the indices. They got the NASDAQ, the S&P. You can do the South Korean stock exchange, and the Japanese stock exchanges ETFs. Too, so.
Honestly, I think I might short the S&P. I'm still holding to my guns that we're gonna see the S&P at 5,500 this year.
And then we go long. And
that's I'm sticking to it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I still believe I'm gonna be right. But before we go today, I got to show you this. I'm just looking at this daily chart for Bitcoin. Does this not look like a double bottom? Nice rounded bottoms.
The beginning part, or a cup and handle, one of the two.
Well, both. Like it's all confluence. You got the double bottom, you got the cup and handle, like right. So I'm starting to believe that we again. I still overall I still think we're gonna make a lower low for the cycle, but doesn't mean we can't go up for a couple months.
Or we go to 80,000 and we don't break structure, and we can still go back down, and it'd be a great opportunity to catch a nice couple days or weeks or whatever it is of some scalp trading, and then we hit our massive short down to 50K, sub 50K, maybe 30K, 35K, whatever it is, and then we flip long and we just run it for months.
Yeah, so keep your eye on that. That is what I'd be watching at the very least up to that 200-day moving average, pretty close to it, and that brings you to this liquidity level right here. You'll probably stop somewhere around here, but like again, that's what 88 right now.
Up there, but wick up. Yeah,
it could. It could stay here for a bit and then just continue on. Maybe make a bull flag and then pop off, and then you wick above it a little bit and back down. Right. So 88K again, it depends how long it takes for this, because this is trending down. So by the time maybe it's 84K by the time it gets up there, right? Or whatever, right? But in the 80s, potentially for Bitcoin could be in our future in the next month or two. Damn, that would be amazing. And it's funny, my dollar cost averaging, I might even just do a little swing trade. I might sell that top a little bit and then buy back lower. We'll see. But yeah, man.
About the next month or two or the 80s, make sure you guys check out Futures Conference. It's a little bit longer. We're going to be in Vegas and then Miami for the Bitcoin conference, and then Consensus potentially. I don't know if you're going to be in Miami or not.
It's on the fence. I might not be able to come to Consensus, but I will definitely be in Vegas. I already booked my tickets.
Perfect. And then as you guys know, I believe it's this Friday, the buy one free BOGO. Like you heard me right. Like
Friday, two for one for the Futures Conference. Yeah.
Get with a buddy and split the tickets, because they're gonna go crazy. It's like double the price, obviously, because if it stops being buy one get one, but then there's also a price increase. So like if you're like in the Toronto area, or if you want to come hang out, you want to like hang out with us, like get with a buddy and buy your tickets now. You got until Friday to handle the buy one get one. Now there may be another opportunity. Sometimes it happens again, but you never know when they're done doing the BOGO deal. So
they got bought out by a different company, so it could be different, right? We never know.
Never know.
We'll be the first one. We'll be the ones to tell you. So we'll let you know on either my page or J Change. You'll see us posting about the Futures Conference. Dude, I'm bringing my drone. I'm gonna get some drone footage. It's gonna be cool.
Nice.
remember when we had that little talk by the water with the background
Yep.
with the CN Tower? Like, definitely want to get some
Dude,
footage like that again. It's
We're
gonna be
back
great.
at Rebel, so like, dude, we know the layout. We know what we can do. We'll take the pirate ship. We're gonna have so much fun and do
That
all
was, that was awesome. That was the best way to get into the city, like bar none. Like, that was the easiest way to get right downtown and hit up a restaurant. It was perfect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, y'all, make sure you're smashing the like button on your way out here. I appreciate you hanging out with us. It's this was Trade Daddies. I'm Jay Chains. This is Mike, the Modern Canadian. We'll see you next.
Thanks, guys. Take care, and we'll see you guys on the next week.
See you.
Yeah. Another session in the books. Trade Daddies. Let's close it out right. Yeah. Yeah. From the charts to the couch, we appreciate your time. Every view, every share, that support is a sign. Late night learners building wealth slow. Plant seeds today, watch the legacy grow. We don't flex hype, we invest in the grind. Teach discipline so you level your mind. If the game gave value and the message hit deep, run it back, tap like, let the algorithm speak. Trade Daddies, yeah, we here every week. Dropping gems, keeping structure unique. If you vibe with the movement, help it expand. Like, share, subscribe, build the brand. Trade Daddies, yeah, we teach no cap. Real dads, real trades, real talk on the map. Yeah. No promises quick, just knowledge and reps. Risk managed tight, calculated steps. From beginners to vets, everybody can learn. Market cycle spin, patience earns. So salute to the viewers, community strong. Independent thinkers, moving along. Hit subscribe if you rock with the show. Turn alerts on, don't miss the flow. Don't miss the flow. Who keeps it real? Trade Daddies. Who builds the skill? Trade Daddies. Like it up,